Hi friends, Team 365. We work 365 days around the year. Team 365 is India's number one textile team. We provide project consultancy, project management, erection services, maintenance, and AMCs for the textile machinery. We are the largest professional team in the country. We are very fast, reliable, and dependable. You can count on us. We have completed over 450 projects and we have a 300 plus strong textile technicians team. Today's topic is Gantt chart scheduling, right? In our textile mills, usually expansions, new projects, modifications, or replacing the old machinery and putting modernization of the plant by putting new machinery, civil works. A lot of activities is always ongoing. So whatever project is taken up, the management asks us to give a schedule, right? The schedule is made in Gantt chart. Gantt chart is usually made using MS Project or any Gantt chart application. But believe me, these softwares are very costly and it requires extensive training to operate those softwares also. So many of my textile friends in the textile industry have been asking me how to make a Gantt chart using Excel. So today I want to tell you, you need not buy or get trained in MS Project or any Gantt chart application. It's very simple and very easy. I am going to show you how to make a Gantt chart or a project schedule or a erection schedule or any schedule or a maintenance schedule using Excel sheets, right? So, what is a schedule? A schedule is nothing but a plan. What is a plan? We have to say, for example, erect a few missions. So, what is the duration to erect each mission? What is the start date? What is the end date? So, the targets, the time, duration is defined in a schedule, and we implement whatever has been scheduled and then use the schedule to monitor the implementation process, the erection process in case of erection, right? When to start, how many days it will take, and whether it is closing by the end date. Are we achieving our targets or is there any deviation? If there is a deviation, we can apply correction factor. We can apply corrective action, right? So now, say for example, we want to take a small project. There is some modernization. So we want to put new ring frames. Say you have 6 ring frames, new ring frames are arriving, you have to erect it. So the management is asking you for the schedule. What is the erection schedule? Or what is the project schedule? What's the project? The project is erection of new ring frames, right? So now let's start. Project. What's the project? To erect ring frames, right? Then the project will have a duration, right? Project duration. Then project should have a start date and it should also have a end date, right? Now let's resize these columns, all right? And let us make this look a little bolder and beautiful, right? I need to wrap this, okay? Let me make this also a little bit bigger, this column, right? And I have to make this bold so that it looks nice. I can increase the font size, right? Now let us put the borders. All right. So what's the project? It's to erect the ring frames, then you should have the project duration. How much time it's going to take? How will you know the project duration? From the start date and end date, right? So in a project, there are different tasks, different activities, right? So if you want to make a detailed Gantt chart, so you'll have to put all the activities, micro, macro, all activities. Or if you want to make a summary sort of a Gantt chart, then the main activity can be mentioned for simplicity, right? So now let us say we have to erect the mission. So that is the task. The first column is known as task. Task is nothing but the activity that we are going to perform. What is the task duration? So each task will have some duration, right? All these tasks put together is your project and project duration, right? Each task will have a start date and an end date, right? So now let us select these columns, make it bold, increase the font size. You can select some color here, right? And you can center these also. So now let's go to the task, right? What is the task? To erect ring frames, all right? RF1. So say you have 5 or 6 ring frames, for example. So now we have put ring frame onto 6. Erection of ring frame onto 6 is the task. The task duration, say it takes 5 days to erect each mission, right? So now let us drag it down. So each mission takes around 5 days, right? Start date, let us presume you are going to start it on 1st Jan. It can be anything. We are just assuming 1st Jan. So what is the end date? End date is start date plus task duration. So the end date, the Excel sheet is showing as 6th Jan. So how many days is it from 1st Jan to 6th Jan? 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 6 days. But what we want is only 5 days. That is a task duration, right? So what we need to do, we need to apply correction factor, enclose the formula in a bracket, then -1. So 5th Jan. So now it is corrected. So when will your ring frame 2 start? After completing the first ring frame. When it is getting completed? 5th Jan. So now we have to apply another formula is equal to end date of first mission plus 1 day, 6th Jan. So 5th Jan it is completing, 6th Jan the second ring frame erection starts. Now what is the end date of second ring frame? 6th Jan plus 5 days, right? Same formula as we put in the top. So control D. So it's 10th Jan. So now select these two columns and drag this down. So now you have the data table with you. So each ring frame 5 days. This is the start date, end date. Alright. So now you have the table with you. Let us organize this table properly. Right. So this project to erect the ring frames, 6 ring frames, task duration, start date, end date of each task is there. Now the project duration. Project duration comes from the difference of start date and end date. So what's the start date of the project? The formula is equal to minimum, select the range under start date, okay, close the bracket, enter. So the minimum is 1st Jan, ring frame number 1 is starting on 1st Jan, right? What's the end date of the project? Maximum is equal to maximum. Select the range on end date, close the bracket, enter 30th Jan. So 30th Jan is the last ring frame being erected. So the entire project to erect the ring frames will start on 1st Jan and end on 30th Jan. So what's the project duration? Very simple, is equal to end date minus start date. It is showing us 29 days, whereas 5 into 6 is 30 days. So we have to apply correction factor here also, plus 1. So now it has been corrected. Let us check whether the table is functioning properly. Say instead of 5 days, the first mission is taking 6 days. So from 30 to 31 days, 31st January. The second mission is taking 8 days because of some floor issues, some rework issues. So then it becomes 34 days and project has gone to 3rd February. But the last ring frame has taken only 4 days, 2nd February. So this way you can change the task duration, or for monitoring you can put it in. This Gantt chart schedule is made, then monitoring chart similarly you can make and put the actual data so that you will know the deviations. Say your missions were supposed to arrive on 1st Jan and you were supposed to start the erection, but due to some reason it has been delayed by 15 days. So then the date becomes 15 Jan. So automatically 15 to 19 up to 13, all the dates have changed, right? So this way the table is functional. Now you can make a Gantt chart very easily. And in the task we have considered ring frame. It can be speed frame, it can be auto corner, link corner, H plans, guarding, draw frame, blow room, anything. Okay, even civil activities or any kind of activities, right? So this is only an example. So now we need to make a Gantt chart. Gantt chart is nothing but a graph, right? We will depict the progress in a graph, right? So now let us select this column. So you require a calendar or a timeline basically to depict the graph, right? So to make the calendar or timeline, this will be our start date, right? 1st Jan. Then the next column will be plus 1, 2nd Jan, right? But we don't want such big columns. What we will do, we will format these cells, go to alignment, change the orientation, format cells, change the orientation, and now we can resize these columns, right? Select this column, drag it, home, format, out of it column weight, right? This is showing only up to 13 Jan, drag it, okay, home, format, out of it column weight, right? So now we have up to 30th January. It can go even beyond that. So you can select this, drag it to whatever date you want, because we need to do a big project. Big projects can take more time, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, right? So we need more columns. Right now we will consider these columns, right? What we'll do, now we have a calendar here. We will call this a timeline, right? Home, merge and center, timeline, right? We will decorate this yellow, then I make it bold, increase the font size, right? And calendar color also we can select, right? And select a different color here, right? So now essentially we have a timeline, we have the schedule here, and we have to draw a Gantt chart. So let us select this first column over here, first cell, right? So now we need to put some formulas to create the chart. So equal to, let's apply condition if and the logic and the first cell of the timeline is greater than or equal to the start date, comma, the first cell of the timeline is less than or equal to the end date, close a bracket, comma, it's true, insert an X, it's false, leave it blank, close a bracket, enter. So what do you find here? Next, right? Now, what we do with this formula, we'll freeze the cells here, right? So now, here you need to insert dollar, and before D, another dollar, and after G, another dollar, after, before E, another dollar, right? Now this formula is fixed, it will not change. When I drag it, we will select and copy this formula across, right? So now what happened? So as per the dates, 1st January to 5th January, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, X is mine. But what we want is a bar, alright? So what we do, go to home, conditional formatting, highlight cell rule, equal to X, then custom color, we want a blue color bar, right? And there is X, X is in black color, so over blue there will be a black color, so we need to change the font color also to the same color. Okay, now you have the bar, right? So now we have made a Gantt chart here. Let me put a border to this, right? So now look at this Gantt chart. What happened to this? Margin center. Okay, so look at this Gantt chart. The project is to erect ring frames. Project duration is 30 days. Start date is 1st Jan. End date is 30th Jan. The task is to erect the ring frames 1 to 6. Task duration per ring frame is 5 days. Right? The start date is 1st Jan. End date is 5th Jan. So 1st to 5th you have a blue color bar. Right? Second ring frame will start from 6th and up to 10th. 6 to 10th. So likewise, the last ring frame will be from 26 to 30th. Okay. So now we have the Gantt chart. Now when you make changes, will the graph also change accordingly? See, I make it 9 days here. It has changed. Alright. I make this 3 days here. It has changed. I'll make this column 4 days. It's changed. The graph is changing. say I change the date, for example. Say instead of 1st Jan, the project is going to start on 1st April. Even the timeline has changed, 1st April to 2nd May. Right, up to 1st May there is activity going on, right? Okay, simple. And when you have more missions and different missions, the days of your project is also going to increase. Then you'll have a longer graph which you have to scroll and see. But when you want to take a printout, it becomes an issue because no printer can print such long. So what to do? We have a very simple solution. Excel sheet itself has graph options. You can even select from here and insert a graph like this. I will show you how to make such graph. For that, what we do, we copy this project data and paste it here. Okay, I think you don't require this. Yeah. Let it be there. Okay, so now we need to insert a graph, right? What we'll do, go to insert, choose a graph. I'll choose 2D bar, stack bar, right? So this graph will automatically adjust irrespective of the length of the days, the duration. It will automatically adjust and give you a perfect graph, right? You can, if you want, extend this also, right? Make it bigger, and this can be made smaller, right? Because we have only 6 ring frames, right? So now what we need to do in this blank graph, we need to select data. So in data, you have to first add a series. What's the series? Start date is our series, right? And what are the series values? Series values. Copy the range, complete range up to the last mission, right? Okay. And in the horizontal column, you copy the range of missions, right? Okay. So now what do you have here? Ring frame 1, 3, 5. Okay. So 1 to 6, we want in the reverse order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we want a date on the top. What do? We just click on this. This is selected. Left click, click on format axis. Then categories in reverse order. You tick on this. So now see what happens here. Start date. The date has, time format has come here. Calendar, timeline, ring frames have been reorganized in a proper way, right? So now we have to introduce the task duration, right? So select data, add the next series. The series name is task duration, and the series range will be range of data under task duration. Okay, so now what has happened? This orange is the actual task duration, right? White is from the starting point, right? We don't require this. So what we do, we select, just click on one of the bars. All the bars are selected, blue color bars. Then go to fill and fill white, right? Now what happens? Look at this. It's a similar graph. Whatever has been done there in the top, it's the same graph. But you can see a gap here. We will learn how to adjust the gap. But first let us test whether our graph is functional. Say I want to put this as 5 days. So it's adjusted to 5 days. I'll also make this as 5 days. 5 days. I'll also make this as 5 days. 5 days. I'll make this as 7 days. So this has become 7 days. Right? I want to make this as 12 days. It's become 12 days. Right? But now what we'll do, the project duration is also increased to 39 days, 1st April to 9th May. Right? So what we will do, we'll make it 5 back. Right? So now we are back to our original graph. Instead of 1st April, I want to make it 1st Jan. So we just 1st Jan. So I want to say 21st September. Let's readjust as September 21st to October 20. Right? Perfect. So now this gap needs to be reduced, right? So that like this graph, it starts from this point. So what we need to do, the starting date of the project, 21st September, copy this, paste it here, and change it to number. So now the number 44460 has come. Excel does not recognize dates, it recognizes the number format. So now copy this number format, click on the timeline, left click, format axis. So now you will find minimum, that is a start date. Select it, Control V. So now we have pasted 44460, 44460 here. So now we close this. What happens? Right? The graph is starting from here. Okay? Now, we will just copy the same data here. 1st April to 27th April. Copy, paste. What happened? The graph disappeared. Why did it disappear? Because this was what we had selected. It was earlier a different date. Now it is 1st April. So you need to copy 1st April, paste it here, and now change the format to numbers. So now you have the number, you copy this number, okay, then you go to the timeline, click on timeline, left click, format axis, change the minimum number to the new value, enter, close. So now here what happened here, we have different duration. So let us copy this duration and apply it there, or vice versa. Okay, so now both graphs are similar, right? You can drag it. So now they are similar, right? So this is how you make a Gantt chart. Any project you can take, instead of ring frame erection, you can take any other machine erection or any other building renovation, anything, right? Maybe you want to dismantle 3 frames and re-erect. So dismantling time will be different, re-erection time will be different. Everything can be depicted here. And what we do with this graph further, let me tell you. When you click here, there is a plus sign. You click on the plus sign, then you give a chart title. Okay, Gantt chart. All right, or you can write erection schedule, whatever you want to write. And you can click here, click on plus. You have data table. You put the data table also. What happens? Ring frame 1, 2, 3, task duration, start date of all the ring frames are also mentioned here. So you need not even give the table. You can just take this graph, print it out, and circulate. All right, as simple as that. I hope you have understood how to make a Gantt chart using Excel sheet. Now you can make your erection schedules, you can make your maintenance schedules or a project schedule using a simple Excel sheet, right? And you can use the same thing for monitoring also. You can even put the actual data by copying it and pasting it on the next sheet. First sheet can be say your Gantt chart, second sheet can be your monitoring chart of the actual status, right? So in the actual status, you just go on changing the values as per what is actually happening. So you can compare both the graphs and see what's the deviation, right? I think this topic was useful to you. It will be very helpful. And I request you to like this video and share it with all your textile friends so that they can also start utilizing these Gantt charts in their projects, right? Also subscribe to our channel so that we can bring in more such information to you which will be useful to you in your daily routine. Thank you.